Hey Ewans, welcome back to my channel. It's Winnie BLV, Mouth of the South. No intro, no outro, it's just this ho. Let me put some daggone purple Valentino glittery lip, okay? Because I got a story. Here's the story about a bitch who got scammed. I did get scammed, and guys, I'll tell you this. I'll go into the whole story, but I have to tell you, I have been scammed. Yeah, many times. Unfortunately, I have been taken advantage of. I don't take advantage of other people, so I'm like, why the hell's everybody taking it? But it's just the world we live in, right? Now, usually I get my money back. I have not, knock on wood, maybe once or twice been scammed to where I was out money in the process, but this time I am, and it's my own damn fault. And I'll say that with my whole chest and, you know, both feet down, all 10 toes, because I was on the quest for the Murakami hands pouch, which wasn't sold separately, but I mean, there are some pieces that are sold with a lot of pieces that are sold with the hands. You know, is any of that stuff coming back? I don't know. This isn't really the Murakami video, but I was in search of that so bad. So I'd contacted Candy. I'd put feelers out there with everybody because, you know, Candy has her reselling shop on Insta. And so then I thought I'd get smart. You know how Insta posts on Facebook too? Okay. Well, Facebook is really ripe with, lots and lots of, like, they're bold about the scamming, okay? But Instagram, it's a little more subtle. They at least take the time to cultivate and, you know, form a friendship and follow you and all that stuff. Needless to say, I put a picture up of the hands pouch, right? I wanted it because I have the hands Neverfull from 2009. So I wanted it to match that because those didn't come with a pouch. That was before they started putting the pouch in the Neverfull. Now we're at 2025, and I just wanted it to match it, and I also think it's cute and I want to carry it around. So I put up a picture and I say, hey, if anybody is willing to part out, I don't even remember what I said in the post. Like, I'm looking for this. If anybody, you know, wants to part theirs out. A lot of people do that. It helps absorb the cost of, you know, the bag if you don't care about the pouch. And some people don't. The Murakami Flowers Neverfull really didn't have the hands theme on it, so it was kind of a weird thing. So I think a lot of us that had the hands Neverfull really wanted to go ahead and get it for that reason, to match it. So that's why I was just like, you know, I don't want to buy the whole Neverfull, be stuck with a Neverfull, because I'm not a big, huge Neverfull gal. But, you know, I have this one. My daughters love it. It'll probably go to them one day, or my granddaughter, or whatever. I wanted the pouch to go with it. That's it. So that was up for a whole night, right? I posted it in the evening. By that Friday morning, I got up to go to work, and I had maybe 30-40 minutes before I had to actually log into my work computer. And so I'm just, you know, scrolling as one would do. And I see that I've gotten 2 messages from people. One came right into my message box, and one didn't. It was one of those requests where you have to okay it. I'm not really sure how that happened, but I thought, well, we must have spoken before. We hadn't. I didn't see any conversation between us, but I looked through there, you know, in the course of them saying, hey, I have the pouch. They put a picture of what looked to be a boutique LV. I bought 2 of the Neverfulls. I can let you at least take one of those pouches from one of my Neverfulls, which there are tons of red flags here, guys. I'm not going to lie. There's tons and tons of red flags that went up, and I just blew right through them because I was hypnotized with stars in my eyes and focused, laser focused on, I got to get this pouch. That is to my detriment. So we start talking. It's a real quick thing because, you know, when I buy something and I'm really, really obsessed with something, I'm get it, get it, get it. You know, that's my mindset of it. But really, in this situation, I should have said, you know, let me think about it. Some other people have approached me. But no, that's not who I am. I am jump in and then deal with the consequences, which is where I am now. So I say, okay, yeah, I'm not really sure. Let me go out and look. I didn't really say this to them. I just thought to myself, like, let me go look at their, and I went on their following page, and I saw a lot of my friends who I did end up asking about later, but I'd already done the deal. So I started looking at all the friends, and it looked legit. They had, a couple thousand followers. They were following a couple thousand people. I saw, I scrolled through their pictures first and saw, a lot of the products they were selling, and they were Chanel, Louis Vuitton, of course, the Murakami. There were several of those. I saw one picture, one proud client and some lady holding a Chanel bag, which all of those were were stolen from Photoshopped, but stolen from other accounts, apparently. Because now you can do a reverse Google search on anything, which my daughter did, and we found these pictures were being used. So the lady in question, I don't think it's a lady at all, but she's no lady. She's a bitch. But no, the person that I was corresponding with, at that time, their account was under Lucy Personal Shop. I'll throw up pictures too, guys. And you can just kind of see the stuff they had pictured, and it's her, but I believe that this is not who this is. And, it's a personal shopper, finance mom. And then one of the first red flags after I purchased it, because I just jumped in and said, okay, well, let me go ahead and give you the money. Because they were kind of like, I've got a lot of people. It was kind of that thing of like, yeah, other people are wanting that too. So I was like, well, yeah, hell yeah, I want it. And I said, well, how much are you asking for it? And I fully thought it would be anywhere from $800, $900, $1,000, $1,200. I really thought it would be in that. But they said $515, which is kind of the same price line of what you would buy one at. This was a red flag too. If you were to buy one in store, say you lose the one you have out of there, I think it is anywhere from $400 to $600 to replace it. And they'll do that sometimes if you have bought that with the store. So don't go telling your SA, Winnie said I could buy a pouch. You can if something happens to yours. Like I've seen a couple people do that. I don't know if it's practiced everywhere, but okay. Then we start talking and she says, I am a personal shopper, but also I worked as an SA in many of the boutiques. And I know for a fact that Louis Vuitton, for the first thing, just would not allow their employees to be a personal shopper on Instagram and sell stuff from the store. And I also know from Becca that it is not really easy when there's a drop, especially a drop as really, big as this one. Those employees have to wait. They're not, I guess their friends could buy them on their behalf. I don't know how it would work, but you personally being an employee with LVMH, you can't just hold things back and buy them. Like, that's not how it works. So that, after I'd paid and everything, threw up a red flag because I was really quick to pay her because I was so scared of the FOMO of it. I'll just say it. Like, I was stupid. I literally was stupid. And of course, another red flag is we only take Zelle, no PayPal. And I have, of course, I have Zelle. And I was like, okay, well, give me your number. She said, my husband, I'm getting a lot of accounts paying today because, the Murakami is really big and I have a lot of pieces. So Zelle has a limit on there, which is true. I knew this to be true because I've dealt with Zelle. They have a daily limit that you can accept and pay out. And I was like, oh, okay. And she goes, can you pay my husband? And I was like, oh, okay. Still thinking, all right. But the phone number, she gave me that and the name of Elijah Edwards. So I paid, and I'm telling you, after all this went down, the conversation, she's like, I'll get your tracking, give me your address, your phone number. I totally gave all that to this scammer, guys. That person has all my info. This is terrible. I know, it just keeps getting worse and worse. Yeah, and they said, oh, I'll get back to you with your tracking. Okay. After it was over, I contacted a few people that I saw that she was following, just, that were my friends, and they were like, well, I don't personally know who this is, but I mean, it looks fine. Several of my friends said it looks fine. And Saya was like, I don't know, this looks sus. He really was like, I don't know. But people were hopeful for me, you know what I mean? So then I contacted my daughter. But Saya has friends that work in, you know, boutiques and stuff. And he did reach out. And we found out that one of the pictures did belong to a Saks boutique, the LV in a Saks in California. So I did bring that up in conversation with her, Lucy or whatever her name is. And I said, like, you're not in California, are you? Because, and she was, no, I'm in Miami. And I said, well, first of all, the number that you gave me is an area code in the Bronx in New York City. She's like, so I fly back and forth between all those places to work. All these things. This was after she has my money, though. And then she makes you take a picture, which most people do, of your, you know, where the money went. Like, it's just a screenshot of where your bank says money is sent to Elijah, whatever. I sent her that screenshot, and she was like, okay, once the money is in my account, I'll go ahead and get your tracking. Friday night, I approached her again. I was like, you sent no tracking. I'm feeling like I'm getting scammed here. And she was like, don't say that. You're not getting scammed. I just haven't had my assistant take the pouch out. And I said, well, you have pouch in hand, right? You said that earlier. Yeah, I've got it. I said, okay. I let Saturday go. Sunday, I started approaching her again. Crickets. Monday came. Nothing. Tuesday, finally, in the middle of the night, she checks her messages and says, I gave it to my assistant. You should have an email. And the assistant's name was Samantha Rogers. Okay, so Samantha Rogers was supposed to take it. Then she gives me a bogus tracking. Here's how I know 100% I got scammed, and I called her out on it. And then she stopped following me and privatized her account. But yeah, here's what I know. So when you send something U.S. Postal and you print the label, it's usually a series of 16 numbers, right? Like that. This was 2 letters, 12 numbers, and then U.S. at the end. That signifies that it is out of our country. So that is an international shipping. And I said to her again, she's still talking to me a little bit, but she says to me again, I don't know what you're talking about. I said I was in Miami, and I said, but your pictures are in LA. The number came back. The Zelle account is in New York. Like, what is going on? This is all a scam. No, I can't even believe you would call me a scammer. And I'm like, well, I can't even believe you would scam me, but you did, bitch. So I've just stopped all communication. It doesn't matter, because anybody can print out a label for you, right? I can print out a label and say I'm going to mail something and take to the post office. It can sit there in perpetuity forever. I mean, it could just sit there, whatever. You don't ever take it to the post office. So that's just to appease you. Yeah, girl. I learned that from my bank. The lady at the bank was like, yeah, that's a common thing that they do. But I said, I noticed it was an international number. And I mean, those don't lie. I mean, she lied about it and kept saying oh, it's coming from, I don't know if it was even LA. It was New York. Was it Miami? She picked all the hot spots, girl. Just a triangle of the whole country. Okay. And so tomorrow will never come for me for that pouch. Yeah, I think Mary said this to me. One of my friends, Mary, that also has a channel on here. I'll link her down below. But she said, girl, you should have known better, because when you hit Zelle, it says, make sure you know this person and you're good with, and you do hit yes. But here's the thing I found out about Zelle. Even though you have to go through that, and it is hard to get your money back from Zelle, and I mean, fingers crossed that I will. One of the things that does make them stop and investigate is fraud, scamming and fraud. So I sure did get, defrauded and scammed. So it's looking up, guys. Yeah, right. But So yeah, they do investigate that. They said it will take about 45 days. Even the girl at the bank was like, you know, it's not us here at your bank, but we send everything we find out to Zelle. They go from there. They're very harsh on scammers and fraud. And I'm like, yeah, there's bank regulations out there that kind of frown on that sort of thing, because once you're sending funds from here to another country, then there's a whole other list of red flags that come up for, you know, banking institutions and places like that. So I don't know. They're going to look into it. If this is someone, say the Edwards kid that I sent this money to, also someone said in my comments, like, you know, that they hire people also that they are scamming. So that guy that they told you, you know, to give the money to, he could be their middleman that they're scamming too. And when he, you know, just, they say to the guy, like, hey, somebody's going to be sending you money. Take that money and then send it here. So yeah, he could be caught up in the scam, or he could be part of the scam. We don't know, but they do lots of different things to, you know, circumvent getting caught. Now, what's so crazy about it is the girl, supposedly, I mean, I screenshotted all of our messages, not that, what, you know, what's that gonna do? Now there's a different picture, and it is a totally different girl, and it says shop with Lucy. So she's continuing to call herself Lucy. Mitchell's is her name, I think. Mitchell's or Mitchellson, something like that. But anyway, so be leery. I'll show you the pictures and, you know, put it down in my box, like who to be. Like, steer clear of this person. They are going to steal your money, and you aren't going to get nothing, honey. But yeah, I did block them. I didn't block them. They privated me, and I did report them. So, and a lot of my friends on here did too, and a lot of you that saw the post on Insta blocked them as well. So if you want to go over and do that, if you have an Instagram account, and report them, block them, whatever. But definitely do not do business with anyone calling herself Lucy. And it's a totally different girl. Like, she's now stolen not she, he or she, they have now stolen a picture of another real cutesy little, you know, 20-something gal carrying a Louis Vuitton bag. Like, that's their profile picture now. So yeah, be very leery. I can't believe that Insta hasn't totally taken them off, like booted them, but the account is privated, and it has turned into shop with Lucy _ So if you see that bitch, run the other way. That's my whole story, guys. I don't have anything. I mean, I wish it was more gripping and there was more forethought on my end, and, you know, checking and due diligence, and, you know, I shoulda, coulda, woulda. That's just where I'm at. And I wish I hadn't have been so, like, hypnotized by the whole thing, and oh, the pout, oh, yes, I want it, you know, because then I wouldn't be in this mess. But, you know, it's a learning lesson. It's a very expensive lesson. That is, incidentally, the money that I used. Thankfully, I told Bill. Y'all know I always say, don't tell Bill nothing, but I did tell him about this when it happened, because he was mad too. He was like, gosh, call the bank. But I was like, well, here's the story. The bank, it's Zelle. And I said, yeah, send it. And he's like, oh, crap. Well, see what you can do. But it didn't come out of, like, our own together money. It came out of what I get paid from YouTube, where I saved that back. So, not that that's any better. That's still money that I earned, and it was still my money to, you know, use on something. So, yeah, lesson learned. And I hope that, you know, you watching this video, like everybody else says in videos where they get scammed, I hope that if it just helps one person not lose money on an unscrupulous a-hole like that, then yeah, good. I hope through the digging of Zelle that Zelle finds this person and shuts them down, but they'll just start up somewhere else. That's, you know, it's just easier to get a friggin' job and work. Like, I don't know. I don't know where they're from or where it's coming from or anything, where it would be coming from. But yeah, I have that tracking number, and it's just, you know, all they did was create a label. That's never gonna be sent out. So there we go. That is my story of woe. I hope that it helps you, like I said, and I hope if you found this interesting, you'll hit that subscribe button. If you've gotten this far, do me a favor, put the emoji with star eyes or the hypnotized eyes down in the comments to let me know you're with me. And one more thing, if y'all see my husband, girl, don't tell him nothing. Bye. Yeah, I don't have much else to add. That's enough, right? But don't cry for me, Argentina. I was able enough to secure the pouch. So from a person who is a seller and I have bought from before, like, that's the thing, like, only deal with people you know and that know you and you've sold to or bought from before. It's just a scary, and it's sad that we have to be like, and I'm not saying like, if you find somebody selling something that it's not going to be legitimate. Most of those really are. You know, you see somebody that you've been friendly with online or you watch on YouTube or whatever you're friends with on Facebook. Like, sometimes those deals, more often than not, are genuine and good, and, you know, they produce a great effect. You buy something, you get it. But just be leery when it's too good to be true. It really is, more often than not, too good to be true. But anyway, I will have an unboxing of maybe another Murakami item coming up around the end of the week. Yeah, so there we go. Hey guys, I'm gonna put a video right here. Do me a favor, seriously. I gotta recoup some of this money, honey. I'm just kidding. But would you please go ahead and watch that video? Thank you. Frickin' unscrupulous thieves and liars, you bitch. Oh, hello. I'm gonna take this one down. I'm gonna put up this one. Where am I at with this? Hey. I'm going to put outtakes in this, but y'all know why. Y'all just saw me do my hand and pull this down. So there's a lot of menu buttons and things on the top of my little camera. I think every time I get it set where I think I'm supposed to, like inside the camera with all the shutter speed, the ISO, all that stuff, the aperture, all the things, I reset it, it goes well, and then I do this and touch the wrong buttons. Things get pushed, things go back. So when you see that, like, brightness, and then, you know, another shot, it'll go back dark or back normal. That's why that is. I just wanted to share that in the outtakes with y'all, because I'm over here. I'm trying to find a cutter. Girl, where is my cutter? Oh, this whole thing almost came. Oh, man. Oh, here's my cutter. Here's that bitch. I haven't carried this bag yet, but I think it looks so good in the background. I'm going to put it up. I'm going to put it up there. I love this. The leather. She looks so good back here because, you know, it's pink themed for Valentine's. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Hey, Ewans.